Okay, so one of the first documentaries, or maybe the first documentary after Kurt died, I'm not sure, but I know this one's very popular. It's called Kurt and Courtney, and they talk about, they have the Tom Grant, the private investigator guy, um, and it basically goes through the movie and how Courtney Love may have been responsible for the murder of Kurt Cobain or instigating it and whatnot. And anyway, I just wanted to point out that this movie came out in 1998 then. So there's your 49 and 49. But look when it actually came out even. February 27th. That's Valentines 227 pi. Um, it's 95 minutes long. Kurt Cobain died on the 95th day of the year. So anyway, what's even more interesting is towards the middle-ish of the documentary, they go and talk to this guy called El Duce. El Duce. His real name is Eldon Wayne Hokie. And he says that Courtney actually offered him $50,000 to kill Kurt, but he didn't take it. And he also said that in the movie, that he knew who killed Kurt Cobain, but the FBI would let him catch him. But he also says the name Alan before he says that. If you watch the documentary, he says it was Alan, or I'll let the FBI catch him. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But in the past week or two, I've noticed this word Duce. I've noticed it 3 times now when I'm just doing research on this Valentine's Day theme. So I find that kind of interesting that that's this guy's nickname. And like I said, he said it was Alan, and I know there's different spellings of Alan. So, but this spelling of Alan actually adds up to 44, which was really significant. You know, Kurt Cobain added up to 114, and but anyway, and I'll show the other Duces here in a second. But I wanted to talk about this guy. So they filmed that documentary, and then it says he claimed he knew who killed Kurt Cobain, giving the name Alan, but said he would let the FBI catch them. 2 days after the interview was filmed, El Duce was hit by a train in the middle of the night and killed. There were no witnesses to his death. So strange that he dies 2 days after saying that it's Alan, and then he'll let the FBI catch him. But read down here even farther. So he died on April 19th, 1997. And the night before he died, his music group, the Mentors, they played Friday, April 18th, 1997 at Al's Bar in downtown Los Angeles. Does nobody find that kind of weird that guy, it's Al's Bar? Al maybe could be short for Alan, and then he said the name, I mean, he said that the guy's name was Alan, and then the next day he has a show at Al's Bar, and then he gets killed by a train supposedly on the next day. That's pretty strange to me. Anyway, I first noticed the Duce thing with this Lauren Hale girl in basketball. She played at Mount St. Joseph University. And their motto is Deo Duce. And it says, with God for our leader. So the reason, I thought of that was because Duce looks like deuce. I know it's a different spelling, it's probably a completely different word, but Deo Duce, I didn't know how to pronounce it. I still don't. But this girl was surrounded by 2s and 22s, so I found that kind of interesting, but I never talked about it because, there's no relevance to the number 2 other than it just looks like the word deuce. But so, whatever. Moral of the story, I noticed Deo Duce with that. And then, for whatever reason, I looked up Time magazine, partially because a lot of this has to do with time and whatnot. And I also looked up Rolling Stone, and I thought, oh, what about Time magazine? Just because. But anyway, it was actually founded by 2 guys here. Don't even see it over here. But the main one, I guess, because one of them died, but it was Henry Luce. And then down here it talks about him being referred to as Tu Luce, a play on Italian dictator Mussolini, who was called Tu Duce. So Benito Mussolini, he's known as 2 Duce, so literally there's a 2 in there, and then I talked about the Duce looking like 2. So I don't know, it could be a 22 reference. But interesting, he died on April 28th, which is the 118th day of the year, 11/8. Also, it was in 1945. Been talking about that forever. It also says he was the Prime Minister of Italy from 1922 until his ousting in 1943. So there's a 22 reference. He was also, I believe, the youngest Prime Minister. And, let me find it here. Well, I can't find where it says he was the youngest, but I know it says that somewhere in here. But what I wanted to point out was that he was the 27th Prime Minister. So we've been talking about 27 in all my past like 5 videos and whatnot. And then he has a 45, a 22, 118th day, and then the 27th Prime Minister. Anyway, I wanted to go back and take just a quick look at Time magazine. It was actually founded, first issue was March 3rd, 3/3 of 23. It was created by Britton Haddon and Henry Luce. And these guys were both members of Skull and Bones. Hence the 23 and the 33. Oh man, and I really should go through all this. There's so many numbers in this. Like they had a little radio show that was broadcast in 33 stations. In 1988 or 89, it says they merged with Time Warner, and Janice McManus succeeded Henry Grunwald in 1988. But or Jason McManus succeeded Henry Grunwald. But so this person took over in 1988. They went to Davidson College, and Davidson adds up to 88. Henry Grunwald died on the first day of Lupercalia and was born in 1922. And then you read a little bit farther down, and it says, during early 2007, the year's first issue was delayed for roughly a week due to editorial changes, including the layoff of 49 employees. I mean, coincidence that it was 2007, that's the 27, and then they laid off 49 employees in that year. Come on. Anyway, this is the one of the owner that died early and whatever, but just look at this crap. He was born on the 18th day of the year, February 18th. He died on Valentines, 2/27. Also, when you read down here farther, when he died, he had a contract. Yeah, it says that he got sick, and he died 2 months later, but of ultimately failure of his heart. Haha. Valentines, whatever. Before he died, hadn't signed a will which left all of his stock in time to his mother and forbade his family from selling those shares for 49 years. Why would he do that? Why would he forbid his family from selling those shares for 49 years? I mean, this guy is surrounded. He dies of ultimately of heart failure, does that with the 49. Born on the 49th day, dies on Julian calendar, Valentines. I mean, come on. And then the other guy, Henry Luce, he was born in 1898, so there's your 49 and 49. He died on February 28th, which is the last day of Lupercalia, in 1967. I mean, talked about that a bunch. Same year Kurt Cobain was born. April 3rd even adds up to 115. That was the day that he was born, which is 11/5. All the time travel stuff, November 5th. And like I said, they're in Skull and Bones, and they both, at age 23, quit their jobs in 1922. I mean, come on. They both, when they're at school, they traveled to the south, Camp Jackson, and that's where they discussed the creating of the magazine and all that. So, Fort Jackson was created 1917, which is 98 years ago, 4949. They used it during World War I. It was abandoned April 25th, 1922, pursuant to General Orders Number 33. But then they reactivated it for World War II, and now it's still open. But I mean, just read here. It says like they train in excess of 45,000 basic training and advanced individual training soldiers annually. So every year they train 45,000. It's more than 52,000 acres. 52 we've talked about with Michael Jordan and all that. It says they added some other things to it. A $4.5 million family water park opened in the summer of 2004, costing the plant $59 million. Or I don't know what it says here. Central injury costing $59 million have been completed. So 4.5, 59. It employs almost 4,400 civilians and provides services for more than 115,000 retirees and their family members. 11.5, 44, 45, 45, 52. I mean, this place is just, it's insane. Located in the heart of the Midlands region of South Carolina. I mean, that doesn't have to mean much, but I started thinking about, there's probably something to do with the heartland in the United States. That could have something to do with what they're doing this year. The 1994 film Renaissance Man, 94, Mirror of 49. Even has notable former soldiers. And Leonard Nimoy. I just talked about him. He died on 2/27 this year. Valentines. So it's named after the president, Andrew Jackson, who died in 1845, born in 1767, on the Ides of March even. Was even the president until 1837. Yeah, I'm going to end it right there, though. I know a lot of that didn't have to do with Kurt Cobain necessarily, but it kind of does. And it's kind of strange that all of a sudden I'm seeing the word Duce a lot, and I'm not sure of the meaning of that. I know the word Duce adds up to 33, which is very significant, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of it is, what it has to do with, or whatever, but they're starting to show it a lot, it seems, so who knows? But like I said, we're going to end it there. I feel like I missed something. I just can't find my piece of paper, and my thing on my computer doesn't, I don't know. But I guess if I find it, I'll post another video. So anyway, have a great night. Yeah, it's Kurt Cobain. Pretty interesting stuff about his suicide, quote unquote.